Hello all. So today I'm talking about a Dodge with the P0336 code, what it is and how you go about fixing it. So what is a Dodge P0336 code? Well, it's a crankshaft position sensor A circuit range performance. And what does this mean? Well, the onboard computer uses the crankshaft position sensor to know the location of the crankshaft as it spins. It uses this for timing. And so it's seeing a problem inside of this, so it'd have to be troubleshooted to know why. And the main problem with this is it's either going to be a bad crankshaft position sensor or inside the wiring, so both would need to be checked out. And most people would just go ahead and swap out the crankshaft position sensor since it's a low-cost part, and then if that doesn't work, then they go to the wiring. But the wiring is not difficult to check, especially if you have a known good sensor. And what's going on with the wiring is in older Dodges, they had 2 wires, and the newer ones they could have 4. But by far the most common is 3, and they all kind of work the same. But you'll need to get schematics for your particular engine to know for sure what's going on with the wiring. But the basics of it is you'll have one wire that's a ground. You'll have one wire that's solid voltage. Sometimes this will be 12 volts, 8 volts, or 5 volts. It doesn't matter. It's coming from the battery, and it's always on when the key is turned on. And then the third wire is going back to the onboard computer. And so the first thing to do would be come over, go from the middle pin, and go to one of the outer pins. Should have voltage that's always on. And then what many mechanics will do is they'll come and they'll take a known good sensor, they'll attach it to the harness, they'll come in from the back of the pin and they'll go from ground to the onboard computer, and then they'll put a piece of metal in front of the sensor, and if it changes, it goes like 0 volts to 5 volts, then they know the whole circuit's working. That's a common way to quickly troubleshoot if the whole circuit's working or not. And one thing to mention, if you go from ground to the reference voltage, that's supposed to be like 12 volts, 8 volts, 5 volts, whatever it is, and you're not getting no voltage when the key's on, you're not getting no power to this plug, then it very likely has a blown fuse. And the fuse for this circuit is usually located up inside the engine compartment. There'll be a fuse box, and usually it's inside of there. Sometimes it could be up underneath the dash, but it's usually inside the engine compartment. So be sure to check for a fuse. It could also be an open wire, so you want to check for that too. But quite commonly, there's a blown fuse that's on the circuit. And I'll jump over on Amazon and give you an idea how much they cost. They're low cost parts right here. They're ranging around $15, $20. So like $20, $30. There's one for $86. You get a new sensor. So they're not super high cost parts or nothing. The main problem when you go to swap out one of these is if there's any other components in the way. Sometimes they could be behind timing covers. Sometimes they could be in really hard to reach spots, or they could be behind something else. So that's going to be the difficult part of swapping one of these out. Removing the sensor itself is not difficult. You usually just have 1 or 2 bolts. Take off the harness, you insert the new one, you reattach the harness. But if there's anything else in the way, will be how difficult it'll be. And it could just vary from Dodge to Dodge, from engine to engine. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they could be a little difficult. And so that's basically it. I just want to give a real quick brief overview of how you go about fixing a Dodge with the P0336 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.